Hello everyone, myself Yogesh Naik. Today we are going to study the isolation based concept. For that I have prepared a working model on it. So in this model you can see there are two buildings. This building is constructed without isolation base and this building is constructed with isolation base. So in this building you can see there is an isomeric rubber pads that is you can see in yellow colors. So the isomeric rubber pads or bearing you can say is provided in between this column. At the middle of this column the isomeric rubber bearing is provided, but in this building there is no any isomeric rubber pads. So this is the common building which is not provided with isolation base, and this building is provided with isolation base. So what is meant by isolation base? The principle of isolation base is separation of structure from the ground surface, and only because of that the ground will move but the structure will remain as it is. Ground will move but structure will not move. This is the concept, or this is the principle of isolation base. Once again I repeat because this is very important and the whole concept is based on it. So isolation system is nothing but the separation of structure from the ground surface, and because of that the ground will move but the structure will remain as it is. Structure will not move. So how we are going to separate the structure from the ground? So this is possible by providing the isomeric rubber pads or rubber bearing in between the ground and the structure. So ultimately it will create a gap in between structure and the ground. So let us discuss how it is work. Let us talk about the bearing, how it will work. So here I am applying the horizontal movement to the buildings. So I am applying the movement. So you can see the difference between these two buildings. The first building will deflect more, but the building with isolation base, building number 2, this will not deflect more. So you can see how the bearing will work. The bearing will absorb all the shaking movement or all the vibrating energy. So this building will not deflect more. It will remain in equilibrium condition, but this building will deflect more, and because of that there is more chances of getting collapse of these buildings. So it will deflect more. Even the column will if the sway moment is more, if the deflection is more, then column will bend and such type of building will get collapse earlier. So this building will remain safe even there is a huge amount of vibrating energy. So this is the concept of isolation base. So let us talk about the limitation of isolation base concept. With this isolation base concept we cannot construct high-rise building. So reason for that, if we consider the small story building, then it will small building will have a shear behavior. But if we consider the high-rise building, then high-rise building will have a bending or flexure behavior, and because of bending and flexure behavior, the column will get lifted up, column edges get lifted up, and the shear key which is provided below the column will come out. So there is this system or this high-rise building will not offer any resistance to the tension. So this is the reason why the isolation based system is not suitable for high-rise building. Then you might be having question that is this system is used in India? Yes, of course, this system is used in India. At Gujarat, the Bhuj hospital was constructed with the isolation based system. As we all know that in 26th of January 2001 we had a massive earthquake in Gujarat. many buildings were collapsed in this earthquake, and around 14,000 people were died in this earthquake.